Costa Rica. I am currently in my host family's house in my room. It's really beautiful here, and it's really hot. It's really hot. It's really humid. Good morning. Buenos dias. Today is day 2 of my month in Costa Rica. Last night was pretty good. I didn't wake up really in the middle of the night or anything. It was really nice. We have a fan, so that's good. And I feel cool and not sweaty, which I was worried about waking up sweaty, and I'm fine. I just went to the bathroom and I threw my toilet paper in the trash can and not the toilet. So that's a good thing. Okay, it's currently 5 a.m. and we need to go to school at 6:45. So the 2 boys that live with us also go to school where we're going, so we're going to walk with them after their mom feeds us breakfast. So it's going to be a great day. I don't know whose class I'm going to be in, or if it's going to be one of us or just 2 of us in one room. I don't know yet, so we'll see. Sorry if the audio is bad. That's the fan. I'm not going to turn it off. Yeah, excited for the day. Let's go. Look at what my class just bought me. Tea in a bag, and these are barbecue chips. So excited. It's so refreshing. It's so hot. And this is all.
Esto es un pan con manzana y es muy rico, me gusta mucho. Pan.
Pan.
Pan. Me gusta pan.
También me gusta pan.
Está lloviendo ahora.
No sé qué es fruta.
Creo que es apricot.
Creo que es apricot. Buenos dias. Today is day 4 of Costa Rica so far, and day 3 of school. It's 5:30 a.m. It's kind of chilly out here. This is unlike any experience I have had before, in every way. Obviously, I've had a lot of practicum experiences in schools in the US, and this is so different than anything I could have ever imagined. There is nearly no structure to the classrooms here. The kids are just constantly running in and out of the classroom. The teachers don't really crack down too much on behavior, on, kids getting too loud. Like, they just, if the kids are talking loud, then they talk louder, which is so bizarre to me and, everyone else from school. We're all like, what is happening? We've never seen anything like this before. How are we supposed to deal with this? And the language barrier is rough. It's rough. Yesterday was really good because I was able to actually have somewhat of conversations with them, and it is so good because the kids here are so patient. I tell them, I'm learning Spanish. You speak slowly, and they will use gestures for me, and they'll speak a lot slower each word and not let them run together, which is where it gets difficult for me. And it's been really, really great. Like, it could have been, I guess I can see it progressing each day, and I hope that continues, that each day we get better and better. My family that I live with here is so sweet. Like, I can't even stress that enough. The boys are so fun. They show us, like, one boy plays piano, so he played some songs for us yesterday on his piano that he learned off of YouTube. Really good. And the other boy, we went to his soccer practice the other day, but he actually wasn't there, and then we ended up getting caught in the rain, which was really, really awful. And my clothes are hanging right above me, so it was really it was no joke. It was torrential rain. I was completely drenched, completely. Every single part was wet, everything. And it started raining when we were about 20 minutes walk from our house. So we just had to suck it up and keep walking. So, yeah, it wasn't. It is what it is. I mean, it comes with the territory, literally. So, it wasn't that bad, I don't think. Looking back, it wasn't that bad. Yesterday, I was in a second grade classroom because on Monday I had been paired with an English teacher that kind of moves between classrooms and grade levels. So I saw second grade and sixth grade on Monday, learning English, and that was where I saw probably the least structure to class and the least instruction even, because the unit we were focusing on in both second grade classrooms was family. In the first one we did family activities, so the kids had to draw three things that they do with their families, 3 activities that they do, and that was pretty easy for me to engage with the kids, because when I was learning Spanish, that's how our lessons were categorized, by activities, by family, by colors, all of that kind of stuff is all put together. So that was pretty easy for me to, go up to a kid and say, ¿Qué te gusta hacer con tu familia? See, what do you like to do with your family? And they would tell me, comida, playa, bicicleta. It's pretty simple, but this task that they did took the entire period, the entire block, which is, it's 30-40 minutes, and in the US that's just unheard of. That's something that takes 15 minutes tops. That would be a cutoff for that, and if you were not finished, then we're putting it away and you can work on it later in free time, and we're moving on to something else now. That did not happen at all. Not at all. Second grade class, the kids, like maybe like 3 kids actually drew pictures, like actually did the assignment. Like the other kids were just kind of like playing all the time, which was frustrating for me because I didn't have the language to say like stop, focus on your work. I kept saying like puedes dibujar, which is like can you just draw it, like please. And the kids were just not, they just look at me and they'd be like, no, I'm not gonna do it. It's just so bizarre. I love it so much here. Really, really special to be able to see this, and really grateful and really blessed to have this opportunity. I was talking to my professor, and he was asking us, like, how do you think a child from Costa Rica or Tina would feel if they had immigrated to the U.S. at a school in the U.S. And I was like, my mind was blown at that comment. Like, I didn't even, like, it's not like it's this school systems are just like a little different. Like, it's nearly completely opposite of what we experience in the U.S. in elementary school. Like, this is like completely out of left field. Like, these kids would be, if the kid came to the U.S. from Costa Rica and tried to like run out of the classroom whenever they wanted to, and only had one recess, because the kids here have multiple recesses, and they have breakfast, they have dinner, they have breakfast and they have lunch, and they have snacks, and they have like snack shops. They can buy like candy and like chips and, you know, just like junk. I cannot imagine a student from here going to the U.S. and not being school being thrown on its head for them. I think about it every time, and I'm like, they would get so beat down because there's so much demand for discipline. There's so much demand for getting your work done, and it really puts things into perspective. It's because it's not like the professors here, the teachers here are like not good or not. They don't care about academics or anything. It's literally the culture and the lifestyle here. One of the famous sayings that they have is pura vida, which is like pure life, which is like go with the flow sort of thing. In the lower grade levels, between first and third grade, they focus so much on social and emotional connection towards each other, like how to be a good friend, how to be a good, citizen of society, learning about emotions and things like that. I mean, they also, obviously they do work. Like yesterday in my second grade class, we learned about multiplication, we learned about states of matter. We had Spanish class, which is technically their English class for us. Like, they were learning Spanish too, which was so bizarre for me, because they're the experts in Spanish to me. But then I realized that they're still in second grade and they still need to learn their own language. Like, they're still building that up. I could not have anticipated this experience at all. I knew things would be different because everyone kept telling me things are different, but no one told me how it would be different and how much would be different. I did not think it would be this much different. And time, oh my gosh, the time here is so fluid at school. Like, yesterday I had to join another class because my teacher just didn't show up. And like, if your teacher is not going to be there, they just don't have class. They don't get substitutes. They don't have anything like that. And on Monday, when I was with my teacher, we were walking to our next class in 6th grade. And I was like, oh, what are we going to do with this class, with this group? And she was like, well, if they're still here, we're going to do spelling. And I was like, what do you mean if they're still here? And basically, like, kids sometimes they just leave, and like, or parents will come and pick their kids up. Like there's no, I mean, I saw parents signing kids in at the front, at the entrance, but like it doesn't seem like there's any tracking of where students are. And students, I've seen some forms of like school buses taking kids who live really far away, but like the kids that I live with, we walk to school, and they walk to school by themselves every day. And we are very close to the school, but we are still a few blocks away. Oh, Mike, this dog. Okay. So yeah, we are still a few blocks away from the school, and we had to cross major streets, and there are no crosswalks, there's no street signs, there's no stoplights, there's no crosswalks, there's nothing. That people are just like, you know how when you're on a side street and you just kind of like wait till it's clear? Yeah, that's what we do. And those boys, who are 10 and 12, by the way, lead us through this busy tree.